What up? 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 What's good, people? What is up? What is they went from the fourth level of hell and sent us down to the seventh level of hell. Why? Because then you got Kwanzaa pulling out her titties. The whore pulled out her titties, and these whore bags over here started feeling and fondling on her tits. Mike,
I don't have it to do with you. Girl, you can go over there, rant and rave. Girl, you can shake all your rainbow bright hair all you want, dear one. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I don't have nothing to do with you, and I'm done. Baby, you can scream my name from the rooftops from now till Jesus come back. I'm done after this.
Introduced to Tick's meat. Do you see what I see? Did y'all really hello, casting, wardrobe, y'all let him roll up out of wardrobe with these fans on, giving us all of this, thinking we were not going to see it? We have been waiting with bated breath and anticipating all season long for the slightest glimpse, and y'all just put it out there this episode in all of its magnificent glory.
Listen, that young man said, baby, you ate on this first date, you giving up the cooch on the first date, okay? Or you gonna run me my coins? Run me my cooch or run me my coins? Run me my cooch or run me my coins? Run me my cooch or run me my coins? That's our new theme song. That is the new song. Listen, somebody need to put a beat to that. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's what y'all got going on.
Called out Sandcastle. Sand, bitch. Ow. Oh my God, it was so funny, girl. Woo, baby, listen, let me tell you something. This shit started to turn into the precursor for some gay porn. That's what I thought it was. Because Big T is getting all, the voice starting to go deeper and get a little more wet and moist and sentimental and all this shit. And it was real gay at this point. Like, I thought the bitches was going to start. I thought Lil Murder was going to turn Big T around and do him like he did Uncle Cliff and do the grease it up with City Lube and ran right in there. It's not a coincidence that Big T started off the conversation by trying to find out if Lil Murder was fucking Mercedes, which he found out he's not. It's also not a coincidence that he would start talking about prison. Why? Because the bitches was probably fucking in prison. Girl. Uncle Cliff, you better go get your man. Big T got plans for that. Well, he had it on look like something Big Bird vomited up or something like that. Like, I did not like it. That Big Bird couture he was going for, it did not work. Like the pastor of a gay mega church on Easter Sunday. Okay, it was way too much sequence. He had on way too much makeup. Baby, his face looked like Iyanla Vanzant's neckline. Okay, just way too much makeup clumped in everywhere on his face. Get it together, sweetheart. And you're a big girl, so that gives you a whole lot of canvas. So that was a whole lot of makeup, honey. And Rico looked like he was auditioning to be one of the three kings, or he was auditioning to be the main character on Jesus Christ Superstar. Girl, Wayne, did you have on a blue thong or a blue G-string or something? If you did, I want to see. Can I see? Get me up in my DMs. I do want to see if you have a blue thong or a blue, jock strap or something like that. I'd love to see it too. Anyway, but I liked it with the turtleneck. Now, Troy.
Oh, we ready. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we ready then. Well, what's going on? What's going on, people? How the hell are you? Let me put this in the members only chat, and then we'll be ready to go. Cause I don't want the members to say I didn't put it in the members only chat. Hold on, y'all. We about to get this party started. All right, there we go. It's in the members only chat. All right, y'all. Oh. Welcome to Run Your Mouth. It is January 27th, 2025, in the year of our Lord. And once again, mood of the day. Here we are. Here the hell we are. In today's episode of Run Your Mouth, what do we have to look forward to? Well, let's see what's in the dossier today. You got a whole lot of going on. We have to talk about these raids that's going on. And the reason that we really have to talk about it is a lot of people, especially us, A lot of black people, y'all thought y'all was just gonna be able to sit on the side. This don't affect me. This ain't bothering me. I ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm gonna sit, eat my popcorn, drink my tea, and laugh at people. Well, not so fast. We'll get there. We have to talk about the conundrum that is black on black. I'm not gonna say black on black crime, but the fact that a whole lot of black people seem to not give a damn about the collective community. They only give a damn about their own personal interests. Damn the collective unit. Damn the whole of us and our people and our culture. We're living amongst a group of people in our black delegation that is out for themselves and themselves only. Let's just be clear. Also, in today's episode of Run Your Mouth, we also, those members of my Rainbow Coalition compound, we're gonna have a real conversation. This is happening. And stuff is happening a lot quicker than you think. It's happening. There's a reckoning coming. Rainbow Coalition compound. Y'all don't understand. Y'all are out there with y'all heads in the sands, saying y'all don't do politics. I don't really care. It don't affect me. Baby, a reckoning is coming. And if they're gonna do it to the members of the Rainbow Coalition compound, please understand every other marginalized group, you're next. And then we'll talk a little pop culture, some stuff going on. You know, I watched like the first 3 episodes of that show Wags to Riches on Netflix, and a couple of those girls are in the news today, in pop culture news on the blogs today, and we'll discuss them a little bit. So we have a lot of stuff to talk about today, y'all. A lot of stuff to look forward to. Let me say hello to y'all. And then as I say hello to y'all, then we can go ahead and get this party started and you know, delve into the dossier, and we can call Larry out, see what's going on. Hey, Harold. Hey, 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 hey. Harold say make sure y'all tap the like button on y'all way in. Y'all know YouTube don't do us no favors around here, so please go ahead and do the stanky leg on that on the like button. Share the video out. Like I always said, we always do a lot on this platform to share real accurate information, news that you can use, and things that directly affect your lives and the facts and the lives of your loved ones. So certainly we need to make sure we get this information out. Okay. Well, we got to talk about your cousin Tabitha. Yeah, we do, to Errol. Hey, Universal Goddess, what's going on? Hey, Tanya Boo. Tanya, you on your way home? You dealing with all of that Atlanta traffic in the drive at 5? I'll be here really to try to help some of y'all make it through the drive at 5. Because the drive at 5 on your way home, if you live in a big city, is enough to make you want to windmill the air. Ah! Hey, Tamara, what's going on, my love? Brown Mama is in the building. What a glorious Monday. Hey, Green Girl, what's going on with you today? How are you feeling? Montrez, what's good, bruh? What is up? Aquarius Goddess, how you doing? Well, when is your birthday coming, Aquarius Goddess? You know, it's almost Aquarius season. Capricorn is not going to let go of its chokehold on you know, all of society until February 14th. I'm just being honest with you. So, I mean, we just want to know when your birthday is so we can help you celebrate. I'm just asking. When that time comes. What am I drinking on? Welch's mango pineapple juice cocktail. Mm-hmm. Hey Cams, hey Boo. Cams, you ready? We gonna have a lot to talk about tomorrow on Red, Blue, and Black. You ready, Cams? Cha. You say the citrus harvest. Well, then there's that. Mm. Mm. Hey, lovely True Red. What's going on, my wonderful pupil? Lock Queen is locked in and locked in into place. Hey, precious jewel, you new to the channel? Well, we're glad to have you. We have a whole lot of fun over here. Y'all welcome precious jewel to the channel. Make her feel good about being here. Let her know she in the right place. You know, she stumbled upon the right place. We have a lot of fun over here, precious jewel. We give out a lot of good information, but we have a lot of fun. Hey, Xavier. Now, precious jewel, listen to me good. The people with the blue, those are my hall monitors, and they got those nice blue, hall monitor sashes. Xavier is not one of the hall monitors you can sit next to. You need about a good 6 to 8 weeks before we let you sit next to Xavier and have him corrupt your mind. We're not gonna let you your mind get corrupted by Xavier and his antics and his level brand of fuckery that he be having going on. So we gonna have you can sit next to Tanya. You could go sit next to Tanya. I ain't gonna let you sit next to Cams because that's my boo, and I fight people about my boo Cams. But you could sit next to Tanya. You could sit, it's a whole lot of people. You could sit next to Lovely True Red, Montrez, Brown Mama, Universal Goddess. It's a lot of people. Xavier, you can't sit next to. I'm sorry. Your birthday on the 7th. That's next week, Friday. Okay. Hey, Angela. But I hope you have a good time here, precious jewel. I hope you have a good time. Because we have a good time. I'm just saying. Cha. You say Jupiter is slinging asteroids at Earth. Well, then there's that. You've been very good since the new year. Since the new year, you know what, Xavier? We're gonna take it in small chunks. You've been good on the live, not in the members only chat. You cutting up like normal in the members only chat. Hey, Cymera, what's going on, my love? I'm glad to see you here. Cymera, you know we got a lot to talk about. Ciao. we're not gonna play this game with you, Xavier. We're not gonna play this game with you, Xavier. Hey, Tarshell, my love. How you doing today? How was your Monday? All right. If y'all ready to go ahead and get this party started, I done already outlined everything in the dossier, what we got to talk about. If y'all ready to get this party started, go ahead and put a shondo in the chat. Let me know y'all ready for me to bring out Larry so we can get this party started, okay? Hey, Sweet Pea, 724, how you doing today? I'm glad you're here, and we're glad to see you. Candace F, what's going on? How you feeling today? Looking all nice and ravishing, like always. Cha. All right, I see some shondos. You say you glad you hear a break from the foolishness? I'm glad you here too. All right, since I see some shondos in the chat. No, I don't, because Montrez is Gen Z, and I love Montrez. Xavier just be out of pocket. Monday been Monday and chow. You here ready to spike out? Well, let's get to it. Listen, Larry, the people are calling. We ready, Larry. Ladies and gentlemen, non-binary gender conforming members of our audience, I bring to you the late great Larry Myers to help us usher in our Sugar Spike segment.
Oh God. You see, this is the part that I like.
Major sugar spike.
So long now, I want to fight. That he gave, his only begotten son.
Major sugar spike.
And who shall ever believe?
Major sugar spike.
They shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
Taste the biscuit.
Jesus! I wish somebody help me.
Jesus. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your Sugar Spike segment where we talk all things politics and things that's just likely to make make you spaz out and have a sugar spike. Now that we know where this segment comes from. Shout out to the people that was here on Friday that knows now where this segment comes from. Anyway, so in some late breaking news that just came out just before, hey, Jay Parrish, what's going on? that just came out just before I came on, and I just put it in a dossier real fast. Went and checked a couple other websites to make sure I validated everything. So the Department of Justice is apparently saying that they're firing prosecutors who worked on the Trump criminal cases. And I had to go check a couple different sources of truth to make sure I wasn't, was getting good information. Y'all know when I bring stuff to y'all, I always try to check several, as I call them, sources of truth that I know is going to give me factual information that I can really rely on. So according to sources that I have pulled up, one of the sources, what they wrote was Justice Department officials fired several prosecutors who worked on President Trump's criminal cases, saying they could not trust them. The move impacted at least a dozen prosecutors who worked both on Trump's election interference case as well as another for improperly retaining records at Mar-a-Lago. Quote, today, Acting Attorney General James McHenry terminated the employment of a number of DOJ officials who played a significant role in prosecuting President Trump, end of quote. And that was according to a DOJ official, a statement made by a DOJ official. The statement went on to say, quote, in light of their actions, the acting attorney general does not trust these officials to assist in faithfully implementing the president's agenda. This action is consistent with the mission of ending weaponization of government. End of quote. Here's the thing. Last time I checked, I remember taking a 7th grade level civics course. You know what I'm saying? I remember taking a course in college that was aimed at teaching me rudimentary American government and how civics and politics and, branches of government works. And when we studied the executive branch, right? And they specifically went to the Department of Justice. The Department of Justice was always supposed to be independent of the ideations and the whims of said president. Please, let's also be clear on how the Department of Justice started, because the Department of Justice has been bastardized from its original implementation. I mean, put a 27 in the chat if you know and understand when and why the Department of Justice was really created back in the late 1800s. Hey, crazy homebody girl. Now, the Department of Justice was created during the period of Reconstruction. The Department of Justice was specifically implemented because there needed to be a government agency to make sure that enslaved people that were newly freed had justice, were not didn't have their rights franchise, that they weren't unduly put back into slavery, that justice prevailed in this recently reformed union, because we had just come out of the bowels of a civil war where the country was torn apart and the South wanted no part of really being back, but they were back nevertheless. Department of Justice comes in, and now one of the sole missions of Department of Justice was solely for our black asses. And now, and even once they deemed that wasn't, to be the main mission of the Department of Justice, there still was the common practice or the belief or the standing rule that the DOJ would be fucking independent. They would be able to work independent of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, that they will be able to do the business of law enforcement and justice within this country, regardless of who's at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. But here we are. Now, because we have a whole ass convicted felon who's the fucking president of these yet to be United States of America, you are now firing prosecutors who did nothing but uphold the law. Prosecutors whose job it is to go and prosecute people when they willfully and directly violate the laws of this country. And because they willfully upheld the law and prosecuted a man who is now a convicted felon, meaning a jury of his peers, stated and convicted him and said, yes, he did commit a crime. Now these people are now without jobs. And y'all want me to believe, I have people on the right, the Republicans, that are out here telling me that I should have faith and belief in anything on that side. Now y'all, I hope y'all are getting a better understanding why I want no parts of any Democrats voting for any of these people over there. Because when you vote to confirm these people over there, you are signing off on it, and it's on your hands. It's on your hands. Every Democrat in the Senate voted for Marco Rubio. Watch what the fuck he does to the State Department. Y'all all voted. You had multiple Democrats vote for Kristi Noem to be the Secretary of Homeland Security. Watch what the fuck this bitch does. And I have a shaking suspicion that Pam Bondi is going to garner several votes from the Dems to be Attorney General and head the DOJ. And all of this shit that's about to come, the diminution of everything that you people know to be democracy in these yet to be United States of America, is going to be on the hands not only of the Republicans, but of you Democrats that sat idly by and willfully cast an affirmative vote for these fucktards that are in there stripping us of our rights. I just want this to be stated on the record. Hey, Ronald, you real late to class today, Ronald. Where you been? Who you got laid up under you that you late to my class, Ronald? I know Ronald got somebody laid up under him. Probably still laid up under him right now. Hey, boy, whoever that is laid up under Ronald. Hey, how you doing? Hey, Culture Love, how you doing, my love? Hey, Tracy W, you good over here? Child, you dropping in to see who I'm cussing out. I'm cussing out any Democrat really be who is voting in any way, shape, form, or fashion to confirm any of these people on that side. They don't need your vote. Why are you voting to confirm these people who are only going to do one thing? Go in there and do this man's bidding. To me, the blood is on your hands. Every Democrat that votes for any of his people to be confirmed, the blood is on your hands when they ceremoniously strip us of all of our rights. The blood is on your hands. I ain't say nothing about you being late, but if you late because you laid up under some man or some man is laid up under you, then I'm gonna talk about you. I can talk about Ronald because he be late to my class. Because he say he don't have trade late, he don't be laid up under trade. He say he is the trade. So likewise, likely he got some little boy laid up under him, or some young man, I should say, laid up under him. Child. Hey, Tracy C. Shit. But y'all see what's happening, right? So y'all have fired any and all prosecutors that had anything to do with any case against Donald John. I mean, I guess they should have saw that coming, and they should have did like Jack Smith and ceremoniously said, "I'm out of this dump. I ain't gonna let you motherfuckers fire me. Let me get out of Dodge before y'all have the chance to." I'm just saying. So that's our first story of the day. In our second story, so today I don't know if he has yet. I've been in production for the show for about the last hour and a half, so I really haven't a chance to see if it's happened yet. But Donald John is also supposed to be signing another executive order. That executive order is is slated to ceremoniously ban transgender people from serving in the military. That's supposed to happen at some time today if it hasn't already happened. Like I said, I haven't been checking because I've been in production for this live, but that's supposed to happen at some point today. He is expected to sign an executive order barring transgender people from serving openly in the military, part of a broader effort to crack down on what his administration has described as, quote, gender insanity, end of quote, in the federal government. Mhm. Mhm. Now, we're going to have a larger conversation about this later in the program. But for all my members of the Rainbow Coalition compound, y'all seem a lot of times to let those that are on the T corridor lay out there by themselves, and the people on the L and the G and the B and the Q corridor sometimes seem like they don't give a damn about what's going on the T corridor. But here's the deal. You have the federal government openly in black and white writing on government documents that people that are trans are insane. They're calling it gender insanity to say that you're a trans man or a trans woman. Basically, taking us back to the days of the 1940s, 50s, and 60s. And yes, I said 60s, when in most of this country it was considered a clinically diagnosed mental illness for you to say you are a homosexual. For you to have any of those letters, you were clinically diagnosed in most of this country as having a mental illness. And in many cases, you could be against your own will, snatched out of your home, sent to a mental facility, and been a person subjected to unconscionable things. But we'll get there later. But this is happening. Now they put out a fact sheet for the executive order that's supposed to come out today. And on that fact sheet, it said, quote, unit cohesion requires high levels of integrity and stability among service members. It can take a minimum of 12 months for an individual to complete treatments after transition surgery, which often involves the use of heavy narcotics. End of quote. That was one of their reasonings and facts and rationales for them signing this. You should also know that Pete Hegseth, who's now the Secretary of Defense, has a real problem with women serving in combat and in the military. Let's be clear. He also has a stated problem with mothers serving in the military. This is all well documented, but y'all had no problem confirming him. Here we are. here we are. The same man who's on record assaulting women sexually and physically. I'm just saying. Here we are. Here we are. So, I have another part. We have another few stories later on to really go and because I need to have a conversation with my fellow members of the Rainbow Coalition compound. We'll get to that later, but I wanted to tell y'all this is coming, and we have quite a few. We have a large amount of people that are in all corridors of the Rainbow Coalition compound: trans, lesbian, gay, bisexual, queer, and all of the other letters, intersex, asexual, all of the other letters involved in the Rainbow Coalition compound. They all serve valiantly in the United States military with fervency and zeal. They fight the same way everybody else fight for the rights of the citizens of this country. They do the same thing. But y'all wonder why y'all have a problem recruiting people to go serve in the military. Y'all get it how you live. I got to move on before I spike out. I felt the spike out coming up. So I said, let me just go ahead and move on before I spike the hell out. In Petty Meets Petty news. So yesterday we had a whole situation. A whole situation. Okay. So Trump, let me just describe to you what happened, right? Trump says, oh, I'm getting all of these people out of my country. So he gathered up a whole group of Colombians and had them come and had them sent back to Colombia. Right? When they got into Colombian airspace and talked to air traffic controllers about landing these planes, they said the Colombia's government had all of their air traffic controllers said, nah, bruh, that ain't happening. We ain't doing that shit. Sorry, boo. Won't happen. Can't happen. Going on back where you came from. We ain't got nothing to do with it. And they did not allow them to land. President Trump finds out. He gets mad, ballistic, belligerent, and says he's immediately slapping a 25% tariff on all goods coming from China. I mean, not China, from Colombia, because that's his answer to everything. That's his version of getting the switch. You know how your grandma used to get the switch? Go on out there and get me a switch. That's his version of punishment, or how white people have you go have a timeout and go sit in the corner. That's his version of that. His ramification for everything is tariff, right? Because that's the only way to have some diplomacy in this country. I mean, in globally, right? The only way to have some diplomacy globally is a tariff. So he tells them they have immediate 25% tariff, and if they don't allow these planes to land within the next 7 days, the tariff is going to go up to 50%. So the president of Colombia, Gustavo Petro, said, oh, how about you immediately have a 50% tariff on all American goods coming up in our shit? 50% off rip, bruh. What you want? Because what you're not going to do is disrespect people that are Colombian, just throwing them, doing them any kind of way. I'm not having none of this fuck shit. So Donald Trump thought he was going to stand firm on that. Somebody down to the White House whispered it in his ear and said, Mr. President, this is not a good idea. You know, you may not think Colombia is that important, but there's a lot of important things that come out of Colombia. You know, coffee, coke, you know, and other good things that we depend on over here. And we can't afford to be having trade wars right now with Colombia because it would cause a lot of things to go up astronomically. We do have a midterm election next year. This isn't going to go over well. So then they got on the phone with each other, and President Gustavo Petro said, listen, I don't give a damn what y'all got going on. What you're not going to do is disrespect Colombian citizens. So he sent two of his presidential airplanes here to the United States to pick up those people that the American government tried to drop off. He said, I send my presidential planes to go pick up my people and bring them back home. So so that happened, and they're still going back and forward, but you know, news sources that are aligned with the Trump administration tried to make it like the President Petrov, you know, bowed to the demands of President Trump. That's not how that went down. That is not how that went down. How it went down was somebody down to the White House and the State Department had a conversation and said, "Yeah, bro, we cannot afford to have a trade war with these people. That's not going to go over well." And so they got on the phone and worked it out. And cooler heads prevailed. Now they're gonna try to sell this as if this is a win for Trump. It ain't a win for nobody. What this was petty meets petty, and him understanding, bitch, this shit ain't gonna work. You just can't, you know, say, "Oh, I'm just gonna give a tariff," and they just gonna bend the knee. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. Any of it. Child, look at Paul. Speaking of crawling up from under trade for being late to class, look at Paul. Paul, we already know what you was doing. I ain't gonna even ask you why you late to my class, Paul. I already know what you got going on. Just let me know what his name is, and is he still there? Now, while most of us are concerned about a lot of fruit, coffee, and other things coming out of Colombia that we need so much, the Republicans worried about that good white horse. They like to ride the white horse, and they want to go on over there and make sure that they got access to the good shit. Okay. So they were like, bruh, I don't need you over there fucking with Colombia. They got the good shit. I'm telling you, that's how that conversation went. And so they were like, bro, we can't have this. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Hey, Sharice, what's going on? Hey, Fifi, what's going on? Long as you ain't laid up under trade, Fifi, you all right. But you know, some of these people be coming to my class late. Exhibit A, because they be laid up under trade. Where's Exhibit B for being laid up under trade? Exhibit B. You need another exhibit. Hey, lovely 31 blueprint. I ain't even see you over there. Exhibit C for people laid up under trade. I'm just saying. Right, how they gonna party? Capital T. Just saying. But listen, I love the fact that this is happening early on. I don't know why this man seems to think that the rest of the globe has to do like the Republican Party and most of the Democratic Party and a lot and all of mainstream media and just lay down and take it for him. That's not going to happen. These people are not going to sit back and just let you do whatever, sir. That's not how any of this works. Child, Fifi say she'll do trade. I know that's right, Fifi. Tell him again. You do grown ass men, Fifi, because you fan. But I loved this last night. I was here for all parts of it. In more news, now listen. Black people, let me talk to y'all, black people. Black people, y'all come close. Most of us black. So y'all just listen. I need y'all to really pay attention and pay attention here. For the last couple months, several weeks, even since the inauguration, a lot of black people have been sitting down, drinking their tea, eating their popcorn, and saying, the ICE raids is not my problem. He going after all of his Latino community and some of the Muslim American community. I ain't got nothing to do with that. We sitting our black asses on the side and not being bothered. Well, not so fast. Because not only is Chicago right now under ICE raids, Denver, Boston, Philadelphia, Atlanta, Seattle, Miami, Washington, D.C., all of these big Houston, large cities are now having ICE raids. Now, you have been led to believe that these ICE raids mainly involve Latino American people and maybe some Arab American people. It ain't happening. There are now black people that are being swept up into these raids. People that are of Jamaican American descent. There have been some actual American citizens swept up in this raid, black just like us, because they were suspected to have been, because they may have committed a crime or been on some registry for being a criminal, and there may have been suspected for being from another country. They done been swept up in this too. Don't forget the entirety of the Haitian population. I got a whole story on that in just a few moments, so I must reserve the Haitian population for a few moments from now. But this is happening. It's not just the Latino community. It's not. It's not just the Arab American community. It's not. It's happening to black people in this country. So while a lot of people just sit back like, oh, it ain't my problem, I'm going to just sit back and eat my coffee. This is happening. This is why I kept telling you we could not afford to sit on the sidelines and say, this ain't our problem. Because anything that happens in this goddamn country always ends up being our problem. Y'all don't pay attention. Any goddamn thing that happens to this dumpster fire of a country always ends up being our problem. Hey, Janae, what's going on, sweetheart? It always ends up being our problem. What just happened to my goddamn screen? Lord. Hold on. No, okay, there you go. But it always ends up being our problem. And that's why I keep saying to y'all, we cannot afford that. Samara says they're actually in Puerto Rico deporting people from the island. It's always everybody's problem. And there's never a time period, there's never a moment in American history where some shit is going down where our asses don't get affected. So that's why I keep screaming from the rooftops to people. We cannot say, oh, this the fuck around and find out season. It's time for them to fuck around and find out while we sit over here and not be bothered. Because anytime we think that it's gonna be somebody else that fuck around and find out, our black asses end up fucking around and finding out, because we always get swept up in this shit with everybody else. It's affecting entire communities, okay? Entire communities. These people are rounding up people, some of which are citizens and some are not. and then you figure it out later. You get detained for a day, 12 hours, a day and a half. I don't know. And next thing you know, they come to find out, oh, you was an American citizen, but you already done rounded me up and had me detained for a whole day or two. This is the shit that's going on. And you notice, and I'm gonna say this. Notice that they're doing this shit in all of the major metropolitan areas. You want to know why? Because the major metropolitan areas are the most likely areas to have black leadership. Y'all better y'all better see the writings on the wall. It's always about us. That's the area to end up having generally more likely to have black leadership in the mayor's office or within the city council. That's also the areas where they feel like they could just sweep up and grab everybody and there won't be a lot of recourse. It's also retaliation because they know those areas did not vote for President Trump. They know that. So this is all reactionary, retaliatory. Because please be clear, many numbers of undocumented workers don't live in metropolitan areas. They live in rural areas because many of them get jobs on farms, in manufacturing facilities and warehouses that are in a large part in rural areas. Huge percentages of undocumented workers are there, but they're not going there. You want to know why? Because that would cripple all of those rural areas that actually did vote for Sun-Kissed Tangerine Man. And oh no, not gonna have no parts of that. You do realize you have members of Congress right now sending letters to Customs and Border Patrol, sending letters to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, asking them to remove Cuban Americans and Venezuelans from the list of immigrants that they're going to send away, because we're okay with you sending away them, but oh, we didn't think it was going to be our people. So can you remove them from the list? This is happening. Well, they said, Candace F., what they were saying is, what I read in a few articles that I was looking at today, and all of them kind of said the same thing. I think there was it was either 75 or 750. I know there was a 75, and I might be wrong. Somebody will correct me. It was either 75 or 750. I think it was 75. They have a daily quota of 75 undocumented workers for each ICE office. I think it was 75. Somebody will correct me on that if I'm wrong. I think it was 75. I probably could easily look it up. Hold on. But I know they were talking about having quotas on and I saw a 75. I don't know if it was 775 or 750. I don't want to look for it now because I don't want, we have a lot to go over. I don't want to waste our time, but I do want to say they've now started implementing quotas. But like I said, I find it real funny that all of these raids are happening in these metropolitan centers. They're avoiding like the plague all of these rural areas when they know good and hell well a vast amount of illegal undocumented immigrants live in rural areas, because a lot of the jobs that they can get are in fucking rural areas. But they don't want to do that because it would cripple the economy of those areas, and you would have a lot of mad ass white people. Here we are. Oh yeah, the rule of law is all out. It's 75. Thank you. I thought it was 75. I thought it was 75. Thank you, Cams. But this is what we have going on. In more immigration raids news, they are rounding up indigenous people. Now Native Americans are being rounded up in these raids because stupid ass white people, because let's be clear, the best and brightest are sometimes not in law enforcement. I'm just gonna be honest with you, okay? And now they're rounding up Native Americans because they can't tell the difference between a Native American or a Latino person or a person of Asian or Arab descent. And so, because they're too stupid and aren't going to try to figure it out, we have the Navajo tribe and several other Native American tribes that are on record saying a lot of our people are being swept up in these migrant raids, and this shit got to stop. Let's be clear, we are not, confused about where law enforcement comes from. We know police and law enforcement were started as slave patrols. We also know that the people they usually chose to be on slave patrol was uneducated, poor white people. That's who they had on slave patrols. Let's be clear. These weren't the people who could read and write. These weren't the people who were vastly educated. No, the people who they chose for the slave patrols that eventually became law enforcement, sheriff's offices, or police departments, they were poor, illiterate white people. That's who they have there. Ain't a whole lot changed. So I'm just saying. I'm just telling you what we got. This is what we're dealing with. So now they just swooping everybody up. Yeah. Oh, you're not gonna see none of that. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Oh no, 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 no. Because what they don't want to tell you, Harold, is here's what they don't want to tell you. When you look at the percentages of illegal undocumented immigrants, the Latino community doesn't make up the majority. The majority of undocumented immigrants come from Europe, but they don't want to tell you that. That's the shit they don't want to tell you. They want to give you the red herring, the smoke and mirrors to make it seem like, oh, it's the Mexicans coming over, or all of these South American people, and they're all criminals and all of this stuff, negating the fact that the majority of undocumented illegal immigrants are here from fucking Europe. Here we are. I'm just saying. But they don't want to tell you this. Because for white people, the big bad enemy is any minority. The big bad enemy is minority people coming over here, taking your jobs, taking your rights away from you, having sex with your women. That was the whole purpose. What the fuck is going on with my phone? God, leave me alone. This is what this is what we got going on. Anyway, I told you I was going to reserve the Haitian American community for last. So They haven't quite made it yet over to um Springfield, Ohio, but they damn sure done made their way to Miami and South Florida, where where there's huge Haitian populations. They've made their way to New York, where there are huge Haitian populations. And there was an interesting article I read today in the Griot that spoke about how the Haitian migrant communities, their answer to, hoping that they don't get sent back is turning to God, turning to the church. And they're going to church in droves, praying and hoping that, they can some kind of way not be protected from these raids that are coming. I mean, let the Republicans tell you this is all ordained by God. Let the Republicans tell you. And can I say this? Can I say this? Y'all notice, and this is not a tangent I'm going on. This is going to all tie in. Y'all notice that white people, and I'm not saying that they should not celebrate Martin Luther King, because Martin Luther King is one of our greatest civil rights leaders, but they don't talk a lot about the Marcus Garveys, the Malcolm X's, the Stokely Carmichaels, the Huey Newtons of the world. They don't talk about the militant black folks that want on none of that. I'm gonna pray. I'm just gonna wait and pray to God, and it's just gonna happen. Let me go listen to this good sermon, and that's how we gonna get over. They don't want to celebrate those people. They don't want to talk. They want us only thinking about, and they only want one iteration of Martin Luther King. They only want the iteration of Martin Luther King where he was meek and mild and nonviolent. And what they don't want the post 1965 Martin Luther King. They don't want that iteration of Martin Luther King. They want pre 1965 Martin Luther King. Anything post 1965, they don't want no parts of him. What people don't realize and understand is that if not for those that were nonviolent and those people who chose to be violent and protected those that were nonviolent, we would not have anything. If we didn't pick up weapons and didn't just say, oh, I'm just going to pray to God and hope that he works on my behalf. If we didn't go out there and do things that move the needle and actually put some fear into some people's hearts, it would not have gone down like this. Let's be clear. It never goes over that easy. And so I bring that up because I feel so sorry for communities like what they're showing here with the Haitian American community, where they're like, yeah, they're turning to God and praying. Baby, that's not going to stop these people from coming in your house. This is happening. You think some of them people that they don't already shipped over there didn't pray? And you think that, oh, well, I guess God choose he like y'all and he don't like them. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. I mean, let the Christian church tell it. Now, here's the deal. Let the Christian church tell it. Haitian Americans are only getting what's due them because of the history of voodoo and witchcraft latent in Haiti and the Haitian community, as if there isn't what they would consider a history of witchcraft and the sorts in Africa where our black asses come from. Like that's any different. As if white America in Europe wasn't having witchcraft and paganism there either. Let's just call it what it is. It's because y'all asses are black, just like our asses are black, and they still can't get over that the first country that was able to get off, get past slavery and get their own freedom was black ass Haiti. They're never going to be okay with that. And I'm not knocking people. Listen, I'm not telling you don't pray. Please pray. That the good book says pray without ceasing. But I think it says pray without ceasing because you should always be praying. Sometimes I'm praying while I'm chopping your head off, while I'm blowing you and your people off the earth. What was the guy name on Saving Private Ryan? Remember the guy that would be blowing people off the earth? He would say the little scripture while he had his sniper rifle blowing bitches off the earth. I don't have a problem with you praying, but baby, when you pray, have your sniper rifle ready. Be taking bitches out. I'm just saying. Baby, this is happening. All right, black people, let's have this conversation, black people. I have listen. Now, Tabitha came out and had a long video. The video is long. Do y'all want me to play the video? That's it's yep. I ain't even asking for a 27 and a yes or no. Do you want the video? I do have the video, all of it. It's not snipped, it's a whole long video. Yes or no? Do we want the video? Because I do have the video. I'm seeing yes, yes, no, no, yes, no, no. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got, it's about tied. I got yeses and nos. The video is long, Tracy. The video is like 9 minutes. That's why I say I don't know if I have it to do. I'll play the first couple minutes and then I'm going to cut it off. First couple minutes and then I'm going to cut it off because I don't have the type of time to play 9 minutes.
Hello there. Y'all all right? I know. It has been a tough week, right? And baby, it's been a tough 2025 and we are still in January. But I know many of you are asking and have asked and sent me messages about the recent DEI announcements at Target as well. And as disheartening as it is for me, I'm not the only one affected by this, right? It's for everyone who is a woman-owned business, minority-owned businesses, Black-owned businesses. It's for so many of us who worked so very hard to be placed into retail, to finally be seen and approved for retail. Because contrary to whatever the world might tell you, it has been very hard for Black-owned businesses to hit shelves, right? Which is why it's such a big deal when we do finally land inside of retail. So it is definitely heartbreaking to feel unsupported, right? However, I am in business in multiple ways with Target, with Walmart, and Amazon, right? I sell Donna's Recipe, my hair care products, right, are on Amazon. They're also in Target. And of course, I have a huge partnership with Target. I sell my seasonings at Walmart. I do business all over, just like many other people. And what I can tell you is If we all decide to boycott and be like, no, we're not spending no money at these organizations. Listen, I get it. And if that's how you feel, honey, I 1000% get it. But so many of us will be affected and our sales will drop. Our business will be hurt. And if any of you know business, it doesn't just happen overnight where you can just go take all your stuff and pull it off the shelves. There's a process.
Okay, we get it. Okay. We understand. Here's my thoughts. Y'all, listen, we can agree to this. We can agree that some people gonna feel one way, some people gonna feel the other way. I don't like the term agree to disagree, because if that's the case, I'm just gonna say we just disagree. You know, the English teacher doesn't want you to say agree to disagree. We just disagree. Because I cannot go along with this. And the reason that, here's my rationale why I can't go along with this. I'm not saying that anybody should be hating on her, and this is not directed at Tabitha. I'm just using her because she spoke on it. My thought on it is this: so many times, because what you're asking people to do is you're asking people to say, okay, Target has said they ain't doing no more business with the black people. So what you're saying is, all right, don't boycott Target. Just let I'm just pulling out a random number, right? I'm just gonna say, let's say they work with 80 companies that are black owned, right? So okay, so you're saying don't boycott them. Be happy that we got the 80. And even though they say that they're not going to add no more, or they may strip some of the 80 that they have, and I might be in that, but don't boycott them. Because I'm telling you how this works, Tabitha. How this works is we've been asked to do that every single time. The only people who benefit is that individual who's a part of that particular business. In this case, you, Tabitha, and your business. But let's be clear. Unless you are in the business, Tabitha, of opening your own store chain where we can have collective advances as a people, sometimes this does not work for the whole. It works for you and your business, absolutely. But the company has told you they don't want no more parts of us. And you want all us to just be like, well, we okay with it. And let's also be clear. The whole point of a boycott is sacrifice. Somebody and some entity or entities, plural, have to sacrifice. Think of one of the most famous sacrifices, Montgomery boycott, right? These people boycotted for over a year. People were walking to work. People were carpooling and giving people rides. You think it wasn't people directly affected on their job that may have worked in some way, shape, form, or fashion for the bus company? But those people that worked for the bus company or were directly affected by the boycott didn't say, well, and I'm sure some of them probably did say, well, don't boycott the bus company because my company getting money. You know, we got ads on the buses, and if y'all don't catch the bus, they're not going to give us those ads no more. No. If we are to truly progress, you have to be in community with us and say, you know what? I'm going to take a step back because it may be better for everybody in the long run. But if everybody takes this selfish approach and just says, well, listen, y'all can't do that because it's going to hurt me and my business and you need me in there because I'm the representation. Well, if you're the only representation or you and a handful of people are the only representation, how is that helping the collective? They've told you they're not letting anybody else in. And until we can move the needle and make them move their stance, what are we doing? You want us to obviate care and understanding for the whole so that it can benefit just a few. because this is going to benefit the few. And I'm not saying that you need to pull out of your contract with these companies. Baby, if you want to stay there, fine. You have that right. Like you said, it's a business. And them white people probably gonna buy your business. And I'm sure some black people will that go over there. But what I don't want you to do, Tabitha, and what I think is dangerous is you telling people, oh, don't boy. You in one breath, you say, oh, I 1,000% get the boycott. And then in the next breath, you go on a 6-7 minute diatribe about why we should not boycott, understanding that the masses are not going to benefit from what you're saying. You're not helping the collective. You're just not. And it's so many within the black delegation now that are all about self. We'll get there in a second when we start talking about Snoop Dogg. Everybody that's getting money wants to think about how they can get more money. Our poor black asses are down here struggling, trying to make it, looking for somebody to help us and help the collective do better. And all of y'all that got a little bit of money, y'all like, well, y'all just figure that out. I just need to make my money. I'm here for my money and my business. Because all I heard from you, Tabitha, is I have a business. I have a business to run. I'm thinking about my money. I'm thinking about my business. I'm thinking about how this is going to add to my bottom dollar. Damn y'all and y'all, what y'all got going through. I got a business that I got to run. That's all I heard. That's all. That's all I hear from you. And what's so unfortunate is we're living in a day where black people are now, we're not a shared community as much as we'd like to be. And this is a time where we need to be more of a shared community because of what's coming down the pipeline from our government. We need to be a more shared community. But now, people in entertainment, people in business, people in positions of power, they're not doing like our ancestors and forefathers and grandparents and great grandparents did, where they understood the assignment. They understood this was a collective shared community, and we all need to help and benefit the whole of the shared community. Everybody's in a silo by themselves saying, how can I make more money? What can I do to add to my bottom line? Damn how you feel. I'm gonna be black anyway. So let me just make this money and y'all do whatever y'all need to do. That's where we are. That's where we are. I mean, this ring to me, Tabitha, you would have did better to shut the fuck up and just make your money. If all you care about is making money, shut the fuck up. Go over there, make your money, and let us do what we got to do. But you over here making all of these statements, baby, that shit is dangerous. That shit is dangerous. Like I said, if you don't come out and say nothing, Tabitha, you probably still have a lot of people that, they're going to go, they're going to buy your product. Just be quiet. But you trying to rationalize and explain why people should not boycott Target, meaning when people are directly telling us that they're going to be offensive to us, that they don't want any parts of us, that they don't want any new business with us, that they don't want any parts of that, and you just want us to sit there and take it? No, that's easy for you to say because you already are in business with them. But I shudder to believe that if Tabitha did not have the business relationships with Target and Walmart and all of these people, if she would be like, oh, well, I don't think you should she would not be saying that. You should have just shut up. And if we want to go out there and tell Target we're not here for the fuck shit, then let us do that. If you want to bend the knee, if you don't give a damn about the whole of the community, you have that right. But get the fuck out of our way and leave us the fuck alone when we out here trying to do things and trying to, if we want to boycott and do things that help the collective. If you don't want to help us, fine. Stay your ass the fuck over there, but stay the fuck quiet. And it's also negligent because you know you have a big platform. You know you have a big platform. And on this huge platform, what you're telling people to do, just shut there. Just sit there and take it. We'll need to boycott. We don't need to do anything. It's people out here making money. Just sit there and take the abuse. You want us to do what RFK Jr. said to do. Get used to and comfortable with the racism and act like it's not a problem. Because what RFK said was, if we teach the black people, to navigate around the racism, we'll be a better country. So your thought is not to get rid of the racism. Your thought is just sit there, take it. Some of us are making money. Girl, I can't. That's negligent. That's negligent. And this is not the time for you to be making these statements. I'm sorry. I'm just saying. And let's be clear. This is even for us as a community. A lot of the choices that we're going to have to make are going to be difficult. They are going to hurt. We're at a time where we're going to have to do a lot of shit that's uncomfortable. Why? Because they're taking us back to Jim Crow, and none of us lived through Jim Crow. None of us lived through Jim Crow. None of us have been conditioned or trained or raised to deal with a Jim Crow America. So now we all having to be uncomfortable and we all having to adapt because we are going back to a Jim Crow America. And that shit is uncomfortable. And if that means that you're going to have less money in your bottom dollar and your bottom line, guess what? It has to happen. That is, if you truly care about the collective. Now, if you don't give a damn about us, shut the fuck up and just go ahead and make your money. Or rather than that, if you are going to speak, be open about it. If you want us to shut the fuck up and take the racism and deal with it and be open and honest about it. Don't try to thread the needle and make us feel like, no, don't try. No, baby, say it loudly with your chest. I'm about my money. I don't give a damn about nothing else. I'm about making my money. I got business to run, and that's all I care about. Be honest with us. I'm just being honest. Speaking of cooning around, then there's this.
For all the hate, I'ma answer it with love. Y'all can't hate enough on me. I love too much. Get your life right. Stop worrying about mine. I'm cool. I'm together. Still a black man. Still 100% black. All out. Till you ball out. Or till you fall out. I ain't going nowhere. Come right here. Yeah. On crypto. Yeah, get the crypto on crypto. Here we go. We gotta learn to pick each other up instead of pulling each other down. That's what we great at as black people. We great at tearing each other down. You could be up one minute and they'll try to pull you down the next. But I'm a strong black man. I'm cut from a different cloth. Can't tear me down. I'm one of God's child. One of his children. And I'm taking the load. Here we go. Shout out to my grandkids and my kids and my beautiful wife, my brother, uncles, aunties, family members, cousins. Y'all know what it is. Bang, bang. The only way to beat hate is with love. Learn from the dog. Teach you something every day. God bless y'all. I'm out. Heaven. Hey.
Somebody need to go call Anita Baker and the Winans. You know, Ain't No Need to Worry was playing at the beginning of that. Somebody need to call Eddie Levert and the OJs and, you know, get them because he was playing Stairway to Heaven. Why? Oh, Jesus God. Why are you cooning and got your Sambo slippers on to some of our favorite black songs? Go over there and play, you know, Kid Rock or something. Play some of that fuck shit. I noticed you weren't playing your own music when you was out here cooning around, right? Like you said, you gonna be black. We can't take that from you. We know you. Ain't nobody said you wasn't black. But please be clear, it was a whole lot of black people sold us up the river. You were one of the black people that Harriet had the fucking shotgun for, sir. She had the shotgun for niggas like you, not for the white people. And see, Snoop, let me tell you about this type of types like him. He would have been one of the ones that she picked up from southern Georgia, out there working, and she had to made it all the way up the Underground Railroad. They had to made it through South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and they get somewhere around New York where they don't got that much further to go just before they make it to Canada and they make it to freedom. They ain't got that far to go. And now this motherfucker want to act retarded. And that's the best word I could use for what he's doing. And now he want to act just stupid. And now we done made it all this long way. We thought you was with us the whole way. We thinking you finna come on to safety with us. At one point, you fighting off the white people with us. Some kind of way, somebody done gave you, you know, told you the wrong thing. And now we got to blow your head off. Now Harriet got to take her shotgun and blow you off the earth right before we get to fucking Canada where we trying to get to. This is what I mean when I say we are living in a time where when we need to be a collective community the most, the people of influence within our black culture are failing us. Musicians and artists back in the Jim Crow days, back in the civil rights area, they were here for the collective. Athletes, musicians, scholars, everybody within the delegation, we all knew the fucking assignment. And everybody said, whatever we need to do, if we take less money, that's fine. If that means that I don't get that next deal, that's fine. But I am here for the collective and for the betterment of the community at large, not just myself. Now we working with fuck bitches, fuck boys, puss ass bitches like this who don't give a damn about us. But they sure want our money though. And guess what? See, here's why they think and feel that they can be different. The reason that they feel that they can be different is some of the difference is today than back in the day was a large part of the black entertainment community was shunned by white people. It was black people that was buying black music. White people bought the white people music who had stolen our music and whitewashed it and made it their own. But if you had a black person, you had something. But by and large, we supported our own, and because we weren't making as much money as some of our white counterparts, it was okay for us to stick with community. These people say, oh, I'm making as much, if not more than the white people anyway, so I don't give a damn about the black people. Fuck y'all lives. I'm over here making my money. But I got a news flash for you, sir. This never ends well for you people. Have you never seen all of the cases, the case studies of this fuck shit over the years? Tiger Woods, you ain't learned from Tiger Woods. You ain't learned from Bill Cosby. We have case after case after case. All you fuckers that think, oh, I don't need the black community. I can vilify the black community. I can do things that cause a detriment to black people long as I make my money. The first time some shit go down, guess where your ass gonna be? Right up in somebody's jail and or courthouse. Just like everybody else. They gonna tear you down, and then you gonna come running your ass back over here to us, looking for us to save you. Baby, I don't have it to do. I don't have it. Y'all can go over on around there and play with them. I don't have the energy for these people. If you don't care about us in the collective, don't look for me to care about you. I'm sorry. We've seen countless cases of this. And every single time, the white people remind you, you're not white. You do not have a mantle of white privilege. You do not have a breastplate of white supremacy. As soon as something goes down, they're going to remind your ass real fast. Don't come walking your ass over here. Speaking of cooning around, then there's this fuck bitch. Since we're in the business of cooning, there's this.
He had actual ideas.
Exactly. And the difference is they used to say Obama was a celebrity. Obama became a celebrity because he was great at his job of being a politician.
You know the difference?
That's different. That's a huge difference.
This may get me in a little trouble. You know the difference between the Obama and Harris campaigns was? Obama connected with people, and all the celebrities wanted to do concerts because they wanted to be with Obama, because he was with the people. In the Harris campaign, they went after the celebrities to do the concerts to get the people. They got it backwards.
I'm just saying.
I don't know about that. Okay, let's be honest here. First of all, one could argue that Obama resonated more because the people chose him to be the Democratic nominee for the presidency of the United States of America, as opposed to somebody backdooring their way into that position. Let's just be honest about it. You had Biden. I know that you supported Biden. Obviously, you spoke about his mental acuity and all of that other stuff, but we all saw what we saw. Before the debate on June 27th, when the debate happened, and by the time that was exposed, it then waited 3 weeks after that before he decided to walk away, but it was too late for anybody else to get in. So Kamala Harris, who didn't resonate during the primaries in 2020, couldn't even get to Iowa, suddenly is the Democratic nominee. And then then you roll up at the convention in Chicago, and everybody's like, she's a rock star. So it was like, wait a minute, how that happened? How that happened? I don't know how that happened. So you're looking at all of those things and you're saying, yes, I voted for her. A lot of people voted for her. But in the end, we end up feeling like damn fools because we supported it. We fell for the okie doke, as they say. You know she did. If you had a primary, the likelihood is that she would not have been the Democratic nominee. And you can't say that about Trump and his side. You can't.
This is what we have going on. We have case after case after case after case of self-inflicted wounds within our own black community, where you have black people inflicting self-sabotage, like saying and doing everything that goes against the collective, that goes against the whole and everything. Let's be clear. Even if I want to go with your argument, Stephen A. Smith, about, oh, well, nobody voted for her. Guess what? That happened. Kamala did not go out there and say, hey, let me railroad Joe Biden and get the nomination for the presidency. That was Nancy Pelosi and establishment Democrats that did that after their stupid asses didn't have a primary. So you and all of this ire and this venom and vitriol that you have for this black woman that stood and said, I'll do it. No, because she could have easily said, I don't want it, but she said, I'll do it. and ran a race that nobody else could have ran in 107 days. But your mentality is, oh, I must have been a fool, right? Because the first thing you want to do, instead of vilifying the fact that this racist ass white man has started stripping rights of every marginalized group in this country, because that's not the focus that you want to focus on. You want to focus on vilifying this black woman and having her be the center of your ire, right? Your smoke is with establishment Democrat. Your smoke is with Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and these white people. But they brought your cooning ass on there because they knew that your stupid ass was gonna get the fuck up there and say some dumb shit. They knew that. They knew full well you would fall for the bait and just say, we ain't got to talk bad about them. We'll let them come on here and talk about themselves because you a dumb bitch. I just don't be understanding these people. Where do y'all find these people? I just don't know where y'all find these fuck bitches from. I mean, really? We are living in a time where I talked about this even in the days right after the election. Well, we have to really have community because this shit is about to get real dark. And all of these people who y'all put a microphone in front of, who y'all put a television camera on, all of them are saying all of the wrong things. So what is we as a collective, as the black delegation supposed to do? How are we supposed to galvanize? How are we supposed to try and get beyond this mess without the generations after us having to suffer? Like, where do y'all find these people? And more cooning around. And more cooning around. Here we go.
Ain't black men that let Kamala down. It was everybody the fuck else. Nobody voted for this bitch. Women didn't vote for her. Indians didn't vote for her. Jews didn't vote for her. She married a Jew. They did not vote for her. Bitches that wanted an abortion didn't vote for her. It was sad. Sad. They said that Cat Williams got more votes. I wasn't even running. Said they just wrote me in. I don't know. I expected more of Kamala. It's one thing to get your ass whooped, but you still got to come out, man. She ain't even show the fuck up for her own. She left her own sorority out there in the cold.
I don't. Oh, Jesus God. What do you? What the fuck?
Oh, God. You see, this is the part that I like.
Major sugar spike.
So loved the world, I want to fight. That he gave his only begotten son.
Major sugar spike.
And shall ever believe.
Major sugar spike.
They shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
Taste the biscuit.
Jesus! I wish somebody help me.
I don't. I don't. Oh, Jesus God. This is where I am. This is where I am. This is where I am. This is where you people have me. Like, this is where the fuck I am. First of all, what you're saying is not even factually correct. When the numbers dropped, this was the smallest margin of victory of any presidential election in modern history outside of 2020. Outside 2020, notwithstanding, because that was a whole situation where scores of votes were not counted, but that's a whole nother situation. 2020 notwithstanding, it was like a 1% or victory. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I just don't understand. There's so many other things that you could use for your set. There's a whole lot of other things you could use for comedy, but here we are. Here the fuck we are. But these are the people. They be bitches be quoting fucking Cat Williams like he's Jesus Christ or Nostradamus or some fuck shit. This is the dumb shit that we deal with. This is the idiocy that we have to deal with. This is why I get so angry about these fuck bitches, because they do stupid ass shit. Oh, dear God. I mean, I guess this is good news. Tuskegee Air, the current administration had told the Air Force to remove all lessons and instruction on who the Tuskegee Airman was from all from the military schools and from military training and so forth. There was a whole lot of backlash, and then they had to reinstate it. They said that the video was removed because after a review, it was deemed DEI. They also removed a video about women Air Force service pilots during World War II. They also removed that. Well, they put the Tuskegee Airmen video back. They didn't put the video back about WASP, which is the Women Air Force Service Pilots. I guess I'm supposed to see this as good news. I don't know. I don't know. Probably. I can see that happening. Jason, I just don't know. For my fellow members of the Rainbow Coalition compound, this is happening. Here's the news. Members of the Rainbow Coalition compound. Here's the headline. Idaho Republicans' resolution to repeal marriage equality is foreshadowing for the U.S. Yes, this is happening. Republican legislatures in Idaho introduced a resolution earlier this month urging the U.S. Supreme Court to overturn Obergefell versus Hodges, the 2015 decision that established national marriage equality. The measure, House Joint Memorial 1, claims the Supreme Court oversteps its authority by requiring states to recognize same-sex marriages and calls for a return to the so-called natural definition of marriage as being between one man and one woman. I told y'all, we are only 1 week in. 1 fucking week. 7 days. I told y'all point blank, we would not get to 2026 before Obergefell fell. I couldn't get no black people because I got this from a website that caters to white people, and I guess they say it's Idaho, so it's not a whole lot of us in Idaho. I'm with you on that. I told y'all we would not make it to 2026 before Obergefell is going to be gone. At this rate, we are going to be by 2028. Many states would have re-established sodomy laws. I'm telling you all where we're going. And these people got their heads in the sands. All they care about is, where am I going to get my next bump? What is my next club I'm going to get to? And who's the next trade I'm going to find on Sniffies and Jacks? That's all. All the while, you people are going to wake up and have no rights. Because like I told you, many over in the Rainbow Coalition compound, they feel like, oh, that's the issue for the trans girls. That's not our problem. And it is our problem. This is happening. In more news, it doesn't stop there because it's not getting any worse. In the great state of Wisconsin, their Supreme Court is seeing a case where they could veto conversion therapy, the conversion therapy ban. The Wisconsin Supreme Court on Thursday heard arguments on a potential ban on the on the ban of the convention therapy ban. Conversion, therapy ban. Oh, yes, because there are still states where conversion therapy is legal, meaning they can go and give you shock treatments to shock the gay out of you. Oh, yes. You can still go to certain states right now and they strap your ass to a fucking wooden chair and basically give you shock treatments until they shock the gay away. Conversion therapy. You do realize Mike Pence, former vice president, when he was governor of the great state of Indiana, was a proponent of conversion therapy and shock treatment. Absolutely was. Here, this is where we are. This is why last week, members of the Rainbow Coalition compound, I had to have a conversation with my community about this is not business as usual. Y'all are going to have to come to grips that we're about to go back to a time that I, as a young black gay man and gay boy, had to deal with, which was, unfortunately, you may call it being closeted, but I call it safety to life issues. There are several states that have on their legislative agendas, and I'll try and pull that for you in the next day or two, where they're going to remove LGBTQ from hate crime laws. Several states already have on their legislative agenda to remove the LGBTQ community from their hate crime laws, or just remove hate crime laws altogether. Hey, Miss Baythang. This is happening. This is opening back the door to having days when people were gay bashed, where we had sodomy laws and all types of things. And people are sitting around here like, oh, I have, we got people sitting around here, oh, it's not my problem. That's what they voted for. That's what they wanted. But we get affected. Oh, I could tell you, don't ask, don't tell. Listen. Now, I think that takes a vote of Congress to repeal don't ask, don't tell. So that's going to be much harder to do. Don't ask, don't tell will be much harder because that would take an act of Congress. But I can't put it past Congress. You see how some of the Dems easily go and vote with Republicans. Listen. This shit is coming, Cam. This shit is coming. We're gonna have to talk about it a lot more tomorrow or red, blue, and black. I'm not gonna be able to get to the rest of my stories today because I ran horribly over. I was supposed to give y'all the story about a I was supposed to give y'all this story, which was about a 12-year-old boy that was shot by police officers several times because he threw a snowball at their police car. Uh-huh. That happened in Connecticut. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. The little boy was 12 years old. There was another 12-year-old boy next to him when police shot the 12-year-old. Thank God the 11-year-old boy wasn't shot. I'll get that. I will have to discuss that tomorrow. I don't have time today. We got to get over to Really Be. We were supposed to discuss this foolishness with the MJ girl from Wags to Riches. She down there beating people ass down to the goddamn birthday party that they had for one of his kids. Mess. Meek Mills is calling out DJ Academics. We were supposed to talk about that. We'll have to talk about it tomorrow. We were talking I was really supposed to have a members only live about this, but she came out today and Sherelle and talked about the fact that her being with Chad Ochocinco was not a publicity stunt and not just for the show. Child. And then we were supposed to talk about D Woods' interview on Good Morning America. We had a lot of things to talk about, but I'm sorry. I got on my soapbox, y'all. I had a lot of things to talk about. I apologize. I'm about to get y'all over to Really Be. Listen. If you're new here, we'll be back here doing it again tomorrow at 5 p.m. Back here tomorrow to do it all over again. Listen, as I always, if you're new here, consider subscribing, hit the like button, all of that good stuff. Consider becoming a member. We have a great time in the members only chat. As I always say, I love y'all. I love on y'all. Thank you all for being vocal, present, and active. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for any and all contributions that you make to the channel. They are much obliged. They're much appreciated. I'm about to get y'all over here, out of here. Stay right there. I'm about to send y'all over to Really Be. Love y'all. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out.